familiar. And then I haven't realized that my mother, who has been working for WPA for the Ohio Guide, has written the description. And it starts out in Alberta, and it comes along all the mileage. And it doesn't say much about Vermilion because there's another section. But it has Alberta, a Bluebird Beach, Cottages Fermenter at Orchard Beach, the Vermilion Country Club. Only members and their guests have the use of the Spanish American floor business camp. Cottages, cabin sites are available at Mirador. Beulah Beach is a summer camp and convention site for members of the Christian Missionary Alliance. Heidelberg Beach, a summer colony, for the alumni of Heidelberg College. Then it comes to Minnetonka, and she has the Indian Peaceful Shore. So there's some question about which it is. But anyhow, this is about 35. Permanent population 35, about 800 summer residents. It is an attractive summer resort between US 6 and the lake. It's pretty white cottages spread out under the boughs of many tall, thickly foliage trees. Neat lanes wind through the woods and beside the lake. And beside the lake shore is a beautiful sandy beach.
How a Teacher Saved My Life. Several years back, I received a letter from a former school teacher of mine. Please note that some people do still write letters. They don't email nor text message. They just pick up a pen or sit down with a typewriter and write. This message was typewritten, which, as you will see, is a very fit way to communicate. The teacher is Sarah Welker, pictured. She was, for the lack of a better job description, a business education teacher at Vermilion High School for at least 30 years. She instructed young people in business arts such as shorthand, I don't know if that is still used today, journalism, and, of course, typing. She also worked as a freelance journalist. Much of her work appeared in local dailies. But back to the letter. She shared some interesting memories that apparently surfaced when she read the LSE Car No. 174 piece I wrote for the local weekly paper that had appeared in my column several weeks previous.
I was glad to know what happened to the Lakeshore Electric Car 174. I'm so glad it came to a happy ending, for I rode it many times back in the years I was going to Sandusky High, 1929 and 1930. It was one of the better cars and made the limited run between Cleveland and Toledo.
These are great remembrances, the kind that give color to what can oftentimes be a rather dull and black and white history. And for her contributions to that cause, I am extremely grateful. But I must also thank Mrs. Welker for one other thing. That thing is my life. I am among a minority, 8 to 15% of people who are left-handed. Partially due to this impairment, I have always found cursive handwriting, if it was to be legible, to be both slow and painful. To alleviate this problem, when I entered high school, I enrolled in one of Mrs. Welker's typing classes. And therein did I learn not only how to type, but how to type fast and accurately. These were, by the way, acoustic, i.e. non-electric, typewriters. And please understand that my intent was purely selfish. I had no professional goals or use in mind for acquiring this skill. In 1965, I was drafted into the service of the U.S. Army. After receiving basic training, I was further trained to be a clerk typist. Soon after, I was transported by jet to the Republic of South Vietnam for duty. Thus far, everything was fine and dandy. It was not until after the plane landed, me along with 249 other clerk typists, that it was discovered that the U.S. Army had made a mistake. Go figure. And the Army had not wanted 250 clerk typists. They wanted teletype operators. So, what to do? They began to reassign and retrain everyone. And this is how Sarah Welker saved my life. Of the 250 clerk typists who were mistakenly deployed to the war arena, I was the most competent. Ergo, the Army headquarters group that was on the receiving end of this mistake immediately removed me from the crowd to use me as their classified document specialist. More than a few of my friends whose misfortune it was to be less adept with a typewriter soon found themselves carrying a rifle. And far more importantly, some of them had the further misfortune of returning home wounded, while still others never came home at all. So when Mrs. Welker typed me a letter that in part tossed me a bouquet for writing my column. What she didn't know was that yesteryear, my newspaper column might never have been writ at all, were it not for her teaching me not only to tap the right keys, but to do it with a great deal of proficiency. And that's how a teacher saved my life.